When I started my gym journey over half a decade ago, I was spinning my wheels. I was not making the progress I wanted to, despite putting everything I possibly could into the process. Now, over time in this period, I learned some truths about how to build muscle that became more and more uncomfortable. But ultimately, because they were uncomfortable, they helped me make the most progress. So in today's video, I'm going to go over some of those truths, and in particular, 5 specific uncomfortable truths that you need to hear that helped me on my journey, which will also really help you if you are struggling and are currently in the situation I used to be in. First one is arguably the most significant one. You're at fault for your current situation. You're not making progress right now, or you're with the physique that you're unhappy with right now because of you. No one else, you. And don't get me wrong, there are externalities in this world that can happen to someone that can land them in their current situation, such as an unfortunate cancer diagnosis or a disease or whatever it is. But if you're trying to build your physique and you're trying to bulk, you're trying to eat in a calorie surplus, and you're going to the gym consistently and you're trying to build muscle, but you're not making progress, don't blame anyone else. Blame yourself. You're the only one that can make a change to your body. You control whether you give your body a reason to change or not. Either you're not training hard enough or you're not doing the necessary things. Because if you were, then you would be making a progress right now. This is a realization that will really change things for you, and genuinely it gives you the power of control. Because if you externalize your progress, then straight away you say that, oh, I can only make so much progress based on this certain thing. And I know this may be a tough one to accept for your ego. However, once you accept it, it becomes so powerful. If you realize and you acknowledge that you're at fault for where you are right now, which could be your lowest, then you also have the control to get yourself up to your highest state. However, if you blame your zero progress or your current situation that you're not happy with right now on something else, then you immediately externalize your ability to make progress, and you're not in control of that. How sad is that? A really good example is people say they're a hard gainer or they've got bad genetics so they can't make progress. Why are you externalizing your ability to not make progress based on those things? Do you know how limiting that is? Because if you think your genetics are bad, then you're not going to make progress because of that perception. But if you acknowledge, okay, yeah, my genetics may be bad, but that won't stop me from building muscle, progress is yours. Control and power over your situation is yours. And on one of the monthly calls in my free community, soon to be one of my clients hopped on the call, and he had been in the community since February, and he was inconsistent and he was in and out and he wasn't making progress at all, and he had been in the same situation for a very long time, over a year, and he hadn't made any progress. And I had a very stern sit down with him, and I put things into perspective, and this was one of the things that I told him. And a couple of months later, he ended up becoming one of my clients, and he gained over 5 kilos or 10 pounds in the space of 3 months. And over the past 6 months of working with him, he has completely made changes to his physique, and he has more than doubled his strength on his exercises in the gym, and he is on a much better trajectory now. So it's realizing that you are at fault that gives you the power, gives you the control to then make things happen for yourself as well. Because if you got yourself into this situation, you can get yourself out of the situation. However, if you believe that something else got you into this situation, you've got to rely on something to get you out of it, and that is very fucking limiting. Second uncomfortable truth that really helped me, and it will probably help you as well if you're not making progress or you're not happy, is that you're not doing enough. Because if you were, then you would be in a much better situation than you are right now. If you were eating in a calorie surplus every day, if you were training properly in the gym, if you were recovering properly, if you're optimizing yourself, you would have made the progress that you are now struggling to make. And you may say, oh, I'm busy so I can't make progress. Once again, that's externalizing the blame. Why not point the finger at you? It's through realizing that it's your fault that you will probably come to the realization that you're not doing enough. You need to have a really tough talk with yourself and analyze whether you are doing the most, because you want to do so much to the point where it's impossible for you not to see the results, for you not to see the progress. You don't want to just do and hope. The third uncomfortable truth, if you're not building muscle properly and you've been not making progress at all, is that you are most likely not eating in a calorie surplus consistently or enough. People see training as the most important pillar towards muscle growth. If you don't sort out your diet and you're not eating correctly every single day in alignment to assist that training and assist your body, then you are not going to make the progress. Diet is like the fuel to the car. Diet is like the phone charger to the phone. If you don't feed your body properly, then it's not going to grow. Because if you were eating in a calorie surplus consistently enough, and on top of that you were training consistently and enough, and you're recovering consistently and enough, then you would be probably double the size you are right now and you would be flying. Just a quick halftime pit stop. If you do want to know how to do the right things, or you just want to start pointing yourself in the right direction, I have got a free community with over 300 people. I'm going to leave that in the description if you want to check that out. The fourth uncomfortable truth is that you haven't mastered the basics. Ryan, what do you mean? Like, I know about diet, I know about training, I do these things properly. If you are doing these things properly, then why are you not making progression? Why? Tell me. Because if you were mastering the basics and you got the basics under control, then you would be making progress. And the basics consist of things such as getting consistent with just eating meals every day rather than getting consistent with calories straight away, increasing your protein intake, focusing on form and technique in the gym, you know, optimizing your sleep and having a consistent bedtime and just getting into the rhythm of things slowly but surely. It's through the basics that one makes so much progress over time. I still focus on the basics. I still keep things simple. I don't want to overcomplicate things. It's through the basics that you can make years and decades of progress. If you haven't mastered these basics, then you are going to struggle, and you are probably going to be in the exact same situation that you are right now in many years' time, despite trying for so long and so much. You need to master the basics. You need to step back and you need to zoom out and you need to look at, okay, what are the simple things here? Training, diet, recovery. They're the three main things that will help you grow muscle. Okay, what are the basic things here? Sleep and hydration, making sure I get those things in. In terms of diet, meal consumption, healthy foods, protein, and then calorie intake. In terms of training, form, technique, perform and exercise correctly, slowly controlling the movement, learning how the bicep feels on a correct repetition, and ultimately being consistent with a training plan. They are examples of basics. But the final uncomfortable truth that I want to share with you guys in this video is if you don't have systems in place, you will most likely fail big time. Everyone or everything who's been successful stands tall and proud on their system. I mean basic routines and basic ways of doing things that helps you maximally align as much time as you possibly can throughout the day in order to achieving your goals. So a morning routine, an evening routine, meal prep system, training plan, diet plan, meal timings every single day, a little meal schedule throughout the week. All of these little things are systems that will help you build muscle. In order to do this, you need to build systems which will minimize time, minimize decision fatigue, so you can take as much action as possible to help you achieve these things. So if you haven't got systems in place, I would highly recommend you do so. If you have found this video helpful, then please make sure to drop a like, leave a comment down below. And also, if you want more content like this and you want more help, a subscription would go such a long way. If you want to go one step further and you want to finally stop spinning your wheels and you want personal help from me on how you can use these truths to propel you to the success, then I will leave a link to my one-on-one coaching application where you can get results like these guys. That being said, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your time. I will see you in the next video.